The rain hammered against the floor-to-ceiling windows of Vertex Studios like nature was trying to break through glass and steel. Maya Rodriguez sat cross-legged on the concrete floor of the empty animation room, her oversized black hoodie swallowing her frame whole, ripped jeans showing patches of skin at her knees. Around her, 3 laptops glowed in the darkness, casting blue light across her face. She wore no makeup. Never did anymore. Her dark hair hung in a messy bun, deliberately chaotic. For 2 years, she had perfected the art of being nobody. Her phone vibrated. A Slack notification from someone she'd never spoken to: "Creative director wants you." Now. Maya's stomach dropped. She closed her eyes, breathing through the panic. In this building full of content creators chasing clout and viral moments, she had one rule: stay off camera, stay out of sight, stay safe. The creative studio was on the 10th floor, all exposed brick and Edison bulbs, the kind of space designed to look authentic while costing a fortune. Kai Osman stood by the window in a perfectly tailored black turtleneck and dark slacks, silver rings on nearly every finger. His presence filled the room like smoke, unavoidable and suffocating. He turned. His eyes, dark and impossibly sharp, locked onto her. "You made this." It wasn't a question. He held up his phone, playing back the animation that had gone viral last week. 20 million views. The one she'd uploaded anonymously at 3 a.m. Maya kept her face blank. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Stop." His voice cut clean. "I traced the metadata, the rendering style, the color grading. This is yours." Her throat went dry. "Why does it matter?" Kai moved closer, studying her like she was a puzzle he couldn't solve. "Because I've been running this studio for 5 years and I've never seen work like this. Because you're hiding in the basement making content that's better than anything my top creators produce. Because I need to know why." "I'm not hiding. You literally just lied to my face about your own work." He tilted his head. "What are you running from?" The question landed like a punch. Maya felt her walls cracking, felt the old fear rising in her chest. "I'm offering you lead animator. Your own team. Credit on everything. Your face on our About page." "No. No?" For the first time, surprise crossed his face. "I'm good where I am. You're invisible where you are." Kai's eyes narrowed. "And I think that's exactly what you want." Before Maya could respond, her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number with an attachment. Her heart stopped. It was a photo. From 3 years ago. The photo she'd buried, deleted, tried to erase from existence. The message below it read, "Found you, Maya. Time to stop hiding." Kai saw her face change, saw the color drain from her cheeks. "What's wrong?" Maya looked up at him, her carefully constructed armor shattering. "You said you need to know why I'm running?" "Yes. Because the person I trusted most in the world turned me into content without my consent. And when I tried to stop it, he made me famous for all the wrong reasons." Kai's expression shifted, something dangerous flickering in his eyes. "Who?" "Tyler Chen. Your brand partner. Your friend." The silence between them felt like standing on the edge of a cliff. Kai's jaw tightened. "He's coming here tomorrow. For our collaboration launch." Maya's world tilted. "Then I quit." "Don't." His voice was raw, urgent. "Don't run again. You don't understand what he did." "Then tell me." Kai stepped closer, close enough that she could smell cedar and rain on his clothes. "Because whatever it is, I promise you this, he won't touch you again." Maya's phone buzzed again. Another text: "See you tomorrow, babe. We have unfinished business." She looked up at Kai, fear and fury warring in her chest, and whispered the truth she'd never said out loud. He filmed me without permission. Intimate moments. Put them online and called it art. And when it went viral, he told everyone I was in on it. That I wanted the fame. Kai's hands curled into fists. So yeah, Maya's voice broke. I learned to disappear. Outside, lightning split the sky. And in that flash of white light, Maya saw something shift in Kai's eyes. Something that looked like recognition. Like understanding. Like rage. 24 hours, he said quietly. Give me 24 hours before you run. Why? Because some people deserve to be seen. His voice dropped lower. And some people deserve to burn. Maya didn't sleep. She sat on the floor of her tiny apartment, knees pulled to her chest, still wearing the same black hoodie. The walls were bare except for one thing, a bulletin board covered in sticky notes, each one a reminder written in her own handwriting. You are not content. You are not a product. You are not his story. Her phone glowed with messages she refused to read. At 6 a.m., she gave up on sleep and headed back to the studio. The building was empty, just security and the hum of servers. She took the stairs to avoid cameras, muscle memory guiding her to the basement. But someone was already there. Kai sat at her usual workstation, still in yesterday's clothes, his turtleneck wrinkled, hair falling across his forehead. 3 energy drink cans stood empty beside him. He was watching something on her main monitor. That's private, Maya said, anger flaring. He paused the video. I know. I hacked your cloud. Excuse me? Kai turned to face her, and she saw he hadn't slept either. Dark circles shadowed his eyes. I needed to understand what I'm dealing with. Who I'm dealing with. You had no right. You're right. I didn't. He stood, moving away from the computer. But I also wasn't going to walk into today blind. Maya's hands trembled. What did you see? Everything. The original uploads. The comments. The doxing. The threats. His voice was flat, controlled. The interview where he cried and said you betrayed him by asking for privacy. She felt sick. Maya. Kai's tone shifted. Why didn't you fight back? I tried. No one believed me. He had 1 million followers. I had nothing. She swallowed hard. And then his fans found my address. My family. My little sister's school. Understanding dawned on Kai's face. So you disappeared. I had to. The elevator dinged somewhere above them. Voices echoed through the stairwell. The studio was waking up. He'll be here in 3 hours, Kai said. And I have a plan. But I need to know if you trust me. I don't even know you. Then let me tell you who I am. Kai moved closer, the morning light from the high windows cutting across his face. 3 years ago, my ex-partner leaked our private conversations to a gossip site. Texts, voice memos, everything. She said I was controlling, manipulative, dangerous. Maya's breath caught. It wasn't true. But it didn't matter. I lost sponsorships, friends, my reputation. His jaw tightened. I rebuilt from nothing. Changed my name. Started this studio. And I swore I'd never let anyone weaponize intimacy again. Why are you telling me this? Because I recognize you, Maya. Not your face. Your fear. He held her gaze. And because Tyler Chen is about to walk into my studio thinking he owns this space. But he doesn't. I do. What's your plan? Kai's expression turned cold. We give him exactly what he wants. Attention. Cameras. An audience. No. Panic surged through her. I can't be on camera. I can't. You won't be. Kai pulled out his phone, showing her a screen full of code. But he will. And this time, the truth goes viral. Maya stared at the plan unfolding on the screen. It was brilliant. Dangerous. Possibly career-ending for both of them. If this backfires, we both lose everything, she whispered. I know. Then why risk it? Kai looked at her with an intensity that made her chest tight. Because some things matter more than safety. And because I'm tired of watching people like him win. The studio door burst open. Footsteps on stairs. Voices getting closer. Maya made a choice. Okay. Let's do it. You sure? No. But I'm done hiding. Kai's expression softened for just a second, something vulnerable flickering across his face. Then it was gone, replaced by cold calculation. Get ready, he said. In 2 hours, Tyler Chen's world ends. They spent the next 120 minutes preparing. Kai set up cameras, mics, live stream equipment. Maya stayed in the shadows, her heart racing, watching him work. He moved with precision, every action deliberate. At 9:58 a.m., the elevator opened. Tyler Chen stepped out in a designer streetwear outfit, all pastels and irony, a backwards cap covering his styled hair. His smile was practiced, performative. Behind him, his assistant filmed everything on a phone. Kai, my guy. Tyler's voice boomed. Ready to make magic? Kai smiled. Cold. Sharp. Absolutely. I've got something special planned. Tyler's eyes scanned the room and stopped. On Maya. Standing by the window in her black hoodie and ripped jeans, no longer hiding. His face went white. Maya? The name came out strangled. What are you doing here? Working, she said, voice steady despite her shaking hands. This is perfect. Tyler's shock melted into something worse. Opportunity. We should talk. On camera. Clear the air. People would love that redemption arc. No, Kai cut in. We're not doing that. Tyler's eyes narrowed. Excuse me? We're doing something better. Kai pressed a button. Every screen in the studio lit up. We're telling the truth. And on every monitor, footage began to play. Messages Tyler had sent Maya. Screenshots of him bragging to friends about the views. Audio of him coaching his assistant on how to spin the narrative. Tyler's face went from white to red. Turn that off. It's already live, Kai said calmly. Streaming to every platform. 40,000 people watching right now. You can't do this. I just did. Tyler lunged forward, but Kai was faster. He stepped between Tyler and Maya, his voice dropping to something dangerous. Touch her and I end you. In the silence that followed, Maya found her voice. Not shaking anymore. Clear. You made me afraid of being seen, she said, looking directly at Tyler. You taught me that visibility meant violation. That being known meant being destroyed. Tyler's assistant was still filming, phone shaking. But you were wrong, Maya continued. Because the right person seeing you? That's not destruction. That's freedom. She looked at Kai, and something passed between them. Understanding. Recognition. Something more dangerous than either of them expected. Tyler's phone exploded with notifications. Comments flooding in. His follower count dropping in real time. You ruined me, he whispered. No, Kai said. You ruined yourself. We just showed people who you really are. Security arrived. Tyler was escorted out, still trying to film, still trying to control the narrative. But it was over. When the studio went quiet, Maya turned to Kai. What happens now? He looked at her, really looked at her, and something in his expression made her breath catch. Now? His voice was soft, raw. Now we deal with the fact that I just destroyed a brand partnership to protect someone I met yesterday. Why did you? Kai stepped closer. Because when you told me what he did, I saw myself 3 years ago. Alone. Betrayed. Invisible. You're not invisible. Neither are you. Not anymore. The space between them felt electric. Dangerous. Maya's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You think this is over? I know things about Kai too. Things that will destroy you both. She showed him the screen. Kai's face went cold. My ex. She's back. What does she have? Everything I buried to build this life. He met Maya's eyes. And if it comes out, it'll destroy the studio. Everyone who works here. Then we fight. Maya, you just got free. Don't chain yourself to my wreckage. She grabbed his hand, surprising both of them. You didn't leave me to drown. I'm not leaving you. Kai stared at their joined hands, something breaking open in his expression. This is going to get worse before it gets better. I know. You might hate me when you see who I really was. Maya squeezed his hand tighter. Try me. Outside, storm clouds gathered. And somewhere in the city, someone was preparing to tear down everything they'd just built. But for now, in this moment, Maya and Kai stood together. Two ghosts learning to be solid again. Two people who'd spent years hiding, finally choosing to be seen. The email arrived at midnight. Maya sat in Kai's office, legs tucked under her on the leather couch, wearing one of his hoodies now because hers was soaked from rain. He'd given it to her without a word, black cashmere that smelled like cedar and something darker. Kai stood at the window in a white t-shirt and dark jeans, his usual armor stripped away, looking more human and more breakable than she'd ever seen him. His phone lit up. Then hers. Then every device in the room. It's live, Kai said, voice hollow. Maya opened the link. A website she didn't recognize, professional and devastating. The headline made her stomach drop, Kai Osman, the truth behind Vertex Studios. Below it, a video. His ex-partner, Sienna Hart, sitting in soft lighting, tears streaming down her face. I need to tell my truth, Sienna said to the camera. Kai Osman is not who you think he is. Maya watched as Sienna detailed a relationship built on control. Private texts where Kai allegedly manipulated her, isolated her from friends, threatened her career. Screenshots filled the screen, perfectly curated, devastating in their intimacy. He made me believe I was nothing without him, Sienna whispered. And when I finally escaped, he tried to erase me. The video ended with a call to action, believe survivors. Cancel Vertex Studios. Maya looked at Kai. He stood frozen, face drained of color. Is any of it true? She asked quietly. The texts are real. His voice was barely audible. But she's cut them. Rearranged them. That conversation about her friends? I was worried because they were encouraging her addiction. The career threat? I told her if she didn't get help, she'd lose everything. Not because of me. Because of the pills. She was using oxy. Then fentanyl. Kai's hands shook. I begged her to go to rehab. She said I was trying to control her narrative, that I couldn't handle her being successful without me. Maya's chest tightened. What happened? She overdosed. I found her. Called 911. Stayed with her through recovery. He finally turned to face Maya. And when she got out, she told everyone I'd driven her to it. That I was the addiction she needed to escape. Why didn't you fight back? Because she was right about one thing. Kai's voice cracked. I couldn't save her. I tried to control a situation that was never mine to control. And in trying to help, I hurt her worse. Maya stood, moving closer to him. That's not the same as what she's saying you did. Isn't it? I have texts where I'm demanding, angry, desperate. Out of context, they look exactly like what she says they are. But context matters. Not on the internet. Kai's phone exploded with notifications. Comments, tags, cancellations. By morning, Vertex will be done. Everyone who works here will lose their jobs. Then we tell your side. And who believes me? The powerful man against the vulnerable woman? He laughed, bitter. We just destroyed Tyler for the same thing. How does this look different? Maya grabbed his face, forcing him to look at her. Because you're telling the truth. And because I believe you. You barely know me. I know enough. Her voice was fierce. I know you risked everything to protect me yesterday. I know you see people when they're trying to be invisible. I know you're not him. Kai's eyes searched hers, desperate. How can you be sure? Because abusers don't question themselves like this. They don't break down wondering if they're the villain. She held his gaze. Tyler never once thought he was wrong. You can't stop thinking you might be. Something shifted in Kai's expression. Hope, maybe. Or just the beginning of belief. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered on speaker. Kai. Sienna's voice, different from the video. Harder. I see you have a new project. Maya Rodriguez. Cute. Kai's jaw clenched. What do you want? Vertex Studios. Transfer ownership to me by end of week, or I release part 2. The medical records. The intervention. Every private moment you thought was sacred. You can't. Those are confidential. I kept copies of everything. Her voice turned saccharine. You taught me that, actually. Always keep receipts. Maya felt rage building in her chest. This is extortion. Oh, the hidden girl speaks. Sienna laughed. How's it feel, Maya? Being collateral damage in someone else's war? How's it feel, Maya shot back, being the exact thing you accused him of? A manipulator who weaponizes intimacy for power? Silence on the line. Then, you have 48 hours, Kai. Tick-tock. The call ended. Kai sank onto the couch, head in his hands. She wins. If I fight, I'm the powerful man silencing a survivor. If I give her the studio, 50 people lose their jobs. If I do nothing, my life ends anyway. Maya's mind raced. What if there's a fourth option? There isn't. What if we prove she's lying? Not with your word against hers. With evidence. Kai looked up. She destroyed everything that could help me. The real texts, the medical records showing her addiction, the messages from her friends begging me to help. All gone. Are you sure? Maya sat beside him, close enough their shoulders touched. Because people like her, people who plan this carefully, they always keep the truth hidden somewhere. Insurance. Leverage. What are you suggesting? Maya pulled out her laptop. I'm suggesting I'm really good at finding things people want buried. Give me access to her digital footprint. Maya, if you get caught hacking. Then I get caught. She met his eyes. You said some things matter more than safety. You were right. This isn't your fight. Yes, it is. Her voice was steel. Because if she destroys you, Tyler wins. And every person who ever weaponized intimacy wins. And I'm done letting them win. Kai stared at her, something raw and overwhelming in his expression. Why are you doing this? Maya's answer was barely a whisper. Because you're the first person in 3 years who made me feel like being seen was safe. The space between them charged with electricity. Kai reached out, his hand trembling, and touched her face. Gentle. Asking permission. I can't promise you safe, he said softly. I can barely promise you tomorrow. I don't need safe anymore. Maya leaned into his touch. I need real. Kai's thumb traced her cheekbone. Real is complicated. Real is messy. Real is you risking everything for someone you just met. Real is me choosing to fight instead of run. She covered his hand with hers. Real is this, whatever this is. This is dangerous. I know. Kai closed the distance between them, forehead resting against hers, both of them breathing in the same air. Not quite kissing. Not quite holding back. If we do this, he whispered, if we fight her together, there's no going back. Your invisibility, my carefully built walls, all of it burns. Good. Maya's voice was fierce. Let it burn. They stayed like that, suspended in the moment before everything changed, before the battle really began. Then Maya's laptop chimed. She'd found something. A cloud account Sienna thought was deleted. But Maya was better than that. Oh my God, Maya breathed, scanning the files. Kai. Look at this. On the screen, videos. Dozens of them. Sienna practicing her tears, rehearsing her victim story, laughing as she edited screenshots to look worse than they were. And one video dated from 2 weeks ago. Sienna on a call with someone, her voice cold and calculating. Tyler Chen says Maya Rodriguez destroyed him. I say we return the favor. You give me dirt on her, I'll help you get revenge. Then we take down Kai together. Tyler. The connection snapped into place. They're working together, Maya whispered. Kai's expression turned to stone. They planned this from the start. We need to release this. Now. Wait. Kai grabbed her hand. If we release this, it doesn't just expose them. It exposes us. Our connection. The fact that we're fighting together. So the internet will tear apart our relationship before it even exists. They'll say you manipulated me, or I manipulated you, or we're both lying. Maya looked at their joined hands. At this man who'd risked everything for her. At the evidence that could save them both. Then let them talk, she said. I'm done caring what strangers think. Kai pulled her close, wrapping his arms around her like she was the only solid thing in a collapsing world. You're sure? I'm terrified, Maya admitted against his chest. But I'm sure. They uploaded everything. The videos, the call, the proof. And as it went live, as the comments exploded, as Tyler and Sienna's carefully constructed lies shattered, Maya and Kai sat together in the darkness of his office. Two people who'd spent years hiding, now choosing to be visible together. Whatever happens next, Kai said softly, I need you to know something. What? I think I'm falling for you. And I don't know if that's real or just trauma bonding or desperation. Maya pulled back to look at him. Does it matter? Which one it is? Yes. Because you deserve more than someone who can't tell the difference between love and fear. Kai. She cupped his face. I've been afraid for 3 years. And for the first time since Tyler, being close to someone doesn't feel like drowning. It feels like breathing. Even if we're both still broken. Maybe broken is what we need to understand each other. Kai kissed her forehead, soft and reverent. This is going to get worse before it gets better. I know. But we survive it together. Maya's phone buzzed. A text from Tyler, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. Another from Sienna, you have no idea what's coming. Outside, sirens wailed in the distance. The night pressed against the windows. And somewhere in the city, enemies were gathering. But inside this office, in this moment, Maya and Kai held on to each other. And chose not to let go. The lawsuit arrived at dawn. Maya hadn't left Kai's office. They'd fallen asleep on the couch together, fully clothed, wrapped in each other like armor against the world. She woke to find him already awake, staring at his phone, his face carved from stone. "What is it?" She sat up, still wearing his hoodie. "Tyler and Sienna are suing. Defamation, harassment, intentional infliction of emotional distress." Kai's voice was flat. $50 million. Maya's blood went cold. "They can't win. We have proof." "Proof doesn't matter when you can afford better lawyers." He stood, running his hands through his hair, still in yesterday's white t-shirt, now wrinkled and real. "My legal team says fighting this will cost everything. The studio, my savings, my future. Then we fight anyway." "Maya." He turned to her. "They're including you in the suit now. Your name, your face, everything you tried to hide. This will follow you forever." She stood, moving to him. "I know. You should walk away. Publicly distance yourself. I'll take the hit alone." "No. This isn't your responsibility. It became my responsibility when I chose to stand with you." Maya grabbed his hands, forcing him to look at her. "I'm not running. Not this time." Kai's phone rang. His lawyer, panic in her voice even through the speaker. "Kai, we have a problem. Someone leaked internal documents. Financial records. Personal emails. They're saying you've been embezzling from Vertex." "That's impossible." "I know. But the evidence looks real. Very real." Maya felt ice in her veins. "Who leaked it?" "We're trying to trace it, but whoever did this knows what they're doing. The SEC is asking questions. Investors are pulling out. The board wants you out by end of day." The call ended. Kai stood there, everything he'd built crumbling around him. "This is Tyler," Maya said. "He did this to me too. Found my work, claimed credit, then when I fought back, he manufactured evidence that I was sabotaging him." "How did you survive it?" "I didn't. I disappeared." She swallowed hard. "But you taught me something better. You taught me to fight." Kai looked at her, really looked at her, and something in his expression broke open. "I don't know how to fight this. They've covered every angle. Every move I make looks guilty. Then we need to make a move they don't expect." "Like what?" Maya pulled out her laptop. "We go nuclear. We release everything. Not just their lies. Everything. The real financial records. The paper trail showing Tyler and Sienna's connection. The proof of the forgeries. That'll destroy the studio." "The studio's already gone, Kai. They made sure of that." She met his eyes. "But we can make sure the truth survives." He was quiet for a long moment. "Then, if we do this, we lose everything. Our careers, our reputations, any chance at a normal life." "I haven't had a normal life in 3 years. Have you?" "No." A ghost of a smile. "But I had hope. For about 48 hours, I had hope." Maya moved closer, close enough to see the exhaustion in his eyes, the weight of carrying this alone for so long. "That hope doesn't have to die. It does if we burn it all down. Or maybe," she said softly, "maybe burning it down is how we finally get free." Kai touched her face, gentle despite the chaos. "You're sure? Because once we do this, there's no version of the story where we're the heroes. We'll just be two broken people who took everyone else down with them." "Good. I'm tired of heroes and villains." Maya leaned into his touch. I just want to be real. They spent the next 6 hours preparing. Every document. Every receipt. Every piece of evidence that showed Tyler and Sienna's conspiracy. The embezzlement forgeries. The manufactured screenshots. The coordination between them. At 3 p.m., Maya hit upload. The website crashed within minutes from traffic. News sites picked it up within an hour. By evening, it was everywhere. But so was the backlash. They're saying we're lying, Maya read from her phone, scrolling through hundreds of comments. That we fabricated everything out of revenge. I know. Kai stood at the window, watching the protest forming outside Vertex Studios. Signs calling him a manipulator, a fraud, a monster. My board just fired me. Effective immediately. Maya's phone rang. Her mother, voice shaking with fear. Maya, there are reporters at the house. They know where you live. Your sister's school called. Someone showed up asking questions about you. The phone slipped from Maya's hand. Kai caught her as her legs gave out. What happened? They found my family. Her voice cracked. My little sister. She's 14. They went to her school. Something changed in Kai's expression. Something cold and final. That's it. He pulled out his phone, dialing. Marcus? I need you to arrange protection. Maya's family. 24/7. I don't care what it costs. Kai, you just lost everything. You can't afford. I have a trust fund I swore I'd never touch. Family money I rejected when I started over. His voice was steel. Wire it. All of it. Whatever they need to be safe. Maya stared at him. That's your safety net. Your only way out of this. You think I care about money when your sister is at risk? He cupped her face. Maya, I'd burn everything I own if it keeps you safe. That's not rational. I stopped being rational when I met you. Her phone buzzed. A text from Tyler, having fun yet? This is just the beginning. Another from Sienna, you destroyed my life. Now I destroy yours. Fair trade. Maya showed Kai the messages. They're not going to stop. Neither are we. But even as he said it, Maya saw the cracks in his armor. The exhaustion. The fear. The weight of fighting a battle that seemed impossible to win. What if we can't win? She whispered. Then we go down fighting. Is that enough? Kai pulled her close, and for the first time, she felt him shake. I don't know. I've never cared about someone enough to ask that question. Maya looked up at him. You care about me? I think I'm in love with you. The words came out raw, unguarded. And I don't know if that makes me insane or just desperate, but it's true. Kai. I know it's too fast. I know we're in the middle of a war. I know this isn't the right time. He laughed, broken. But when has timing ever been on our side? Maya's phone rang. Her lawyer this time, voice urgent. Maya, I need you to listen carefully. Tyler's team found something. Medical records from your hospitalization 3 years ago. Her stomach dropped. What hospitalization? After Tyler's content went viral. Your mother checked you in for psychiatric evaluation. Depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation. The room spun. She'd buried that. Erased it. Told no one except her therapist. They're going to claim you're unstable, her lawyer continued. That this whole thing is a delusion brought on by mental illness. They're painting you as obsessed, dangerous. That's not true. I know. But they have documentation. And in court, documentation matters more than truth. The call ended. Maya sank to the floor, her carefully constructed walls finally, completely crumbling. Kai knelt beside her. Talk to me. After Tyler posted that content, I stopped eating. Stopped sleeping. Started having panic attacks so bad I couldn't leave my apartment. The words tumbled out, years of silence breaking. My mom found me on the bathroom floor. I'd taken pills. Not enough to do real damage. Just enough to make the noise stop. Kai's face went white. I spent 2 weeks inpatient. Got diagnosed, got medicated, got better. Or at least learned to function. Maya looked at him through tears. And now that's the thing that destroys me. Not Tyler's lies. My own broken brain. You're not broken. Yes, I am. And now everyone's going to see it. Maya. Kai lifted her chin. I have PTSD from finding Sienna overdosed. I take medication. I see a therapist twice a week. I have nightmares where I'm too late to save her and she dies in my arms. She stared at him. We're both scarred, he said softly. We're both carrying damage. But that doesn't make us broken. It makes us human. They're going to use it against me. Against us. Let them. Because here's what I know, anyone who survives what we survived and still chooses to fight? That's not weakness. That's strength they can't comprehend. Maya leaned into him, letting herself be held. I'm so tired of fighting. I know. What if we just stop? Walk away. Let them win. Kai pulled back, looking at her with an intensity that stole her breath. Is that what you want? I want to stop hurting. I want to stop being afraid. Then let's end it. Not by giving up. His voice dropped. By telling the one story they can't spin. What story? Ours. The real one. Not the hero narrative or the victim story. Just two broken people who found each other in the wreckage. Maya's heart hammered. That's terrifying. I know. But it's also true. Kai stood, pulling her up with him. What if we do a live stream? Just us. No lawyers, no PR, no scripts. We tell people exactly who we are, what happened, and let them decide. They'll tear us apart. Maybe. Or maybe some people will see themselves in us. The ones who've been hurt. The ones who've been silenced. The ones who are tired of perfect narratives that don't match their messy lives. Maya looked at him, this man who'd risked everything for her, who'd shown her that being seen didn't have to mean being destroyed. Okay, she whispered. Let's burn it all down together. They set up the stream in Kai's empty office. No lights, no editing, just a laptop camera and two people who'd run out of armor. Kai sat in his wrinkled white t-shirt and jeans. Maya in his black hoodie and ripped jeans. Both of them exhausted. Both of them real. Hi, Kai said to the camera. I'm Kai Osman. And I'm not here to defend myself. I'm Maya Rodriguez, she added. And I'm not here to play victim. We're here, they said together, to tell you the truth. All of it. And as the viewer count climbed, as the comments exploded, as the world watched, they spoke. About trauma. About mistakes. About the gray space between victim and villain where real people live. Maya talked about her hospitalization. Kai talked about his PTSD. They showed their scars, literal and metaphorical. I don't know if we're right or wrong, Kai said. I just know we're trying to survive. And maybe that's all any of us can do, Maya finished. The stream hit 1 million viewers. Then 2 million. The comments were vicious and supportive in equal measure. But somewhere in the chaos, something shifted. People started sharing their own stories. Their own scars. Their own moments of being caught between truth and perception. "We're not asking for forgiveness," Kai said as they prepared to end the stream. "We're just asking to be seen as human." Maya looked at him, then at the camera. "And if that's not enough, then at least we told the truth." They ended the stream. In the silence that followed, Kai turned to Maya. "What happens now?" "I don't know. But I know I don't regret it." "Neither do I." They sat in the darkness, waiting for the world to decide their fate. Maya's phone buzzed. A text from her mother: "I'm proud of you. Your sister is safe. Don't stop fighting." Kai's phone lit up. His lawyer, the SEC, dropped the investigation. Someone came forward with evidence that Tyler forged those documents. "You're clear." They looked at each other, hope flickering cautiously in their chests. Then another text. This one from Sienna: "You won. Congratulations. But you'll never know if people believe you or just pity you. Enjoy your broken victory. And Tyler, this isn't over. Not even close." Maya felt her hope waver. But Kai took her hand. "Let them come. We'll be ready. Together? Always." Outside, the protest dispersed. The sun set. The city continued, indifferent to their war. But inside this office, two broken people held onto each other. And refused to let go. 6 months later. Maya stood in the empty warehouse space, afternoon light streaming through industrial windows, dust particles floating like snow in the golden beams. She wore a loose black sweater and comfortable jeans, her hair down for the first time in years, no longer a shield but a choice. The space was raw, exposed brick, concrete floors, potential bleeding from every corner. "You're sure about this?" Kai's voice came from behind her. He leaned against the doorframe in a dark green Henley and black jeans, looking more settled than she'd ever seen him. Tired still. Scarred still. But somehow solid. "I'm sure." Maya turned to face him. "We build something new. Something that's actually ours." After the live stream, everything had collapsed and rebuilt in unexpected ways. Vertex Studios closed. Tyler and Sienna faced criminal charges for fraud, harassment, and conspiracy. Their perfect narratives shattered against the weight of evidence. But it wasn't a clean victory. It never was. "The studio space is ready," Kai said, walking toward her. "But Maya, are you ready?" "For what?" "To stop hiding. To put your name on work. To be visible." She'd been thinking about this question for months. The old Maya would have said no. Would have found a new corner to disappear into. But she wasn't that Maya anymore. "I'll never love being visible," she admitted. "But I'm learning it doesn't have to be dangerous." Kai stopped in front of her, close enough that she could see the silver threading through his dark hair, new since the trial. "And us? Are you ready for us to be visible?" They'd kept their relationship private during the legal chaos. Not hidden, exactly. Just protected. But now, with the smoke clearing, the question hung between them like a held breath. "What if people say we're toxic?" Maya asked. "That we trauma bonded? That this isn't real? Do you think we trauma bonded?" "I think we found each other in hell and decided to climb out together." She took his hand. "I think that's the most real thing I've ever experienced." Kai pulled her closer. "I love you. I don't know if it's complicated or simple, healthy or messy. But it's true. I love you too." The words felt like freedom. "And yeah, we're complicated. We're both still in therapy. We still have nightmares. We're still learning how to trust. But we're learning together." "Together," Maya agreed. Her phone buzzed. A message from Tyler, the first in months: "Congratulations on your new studio. Hope it was worth destroying lives for." Kai saw her face change. What is it? She showed him the message. He's out on bail, Kai said quietly. His trial starts next month. He's trying to rattle you. It's working. Do you want me to handle it? Maya thought about it. The old her would have said yes. Would have let Kai fight her battles. But she wasn't that person anymore either. She typed back, I didn't destroy your life, Tyler. You did. The only difference is now everyone else can see it too. Good luck at trial. She blocked his number. For good this time. Kai smiled. Proud of you. Don't be. I'm still terrified he'll find a way to hurt me. Fear doesn't make you weak, Maya. Acting despite fear makes you strong. They walked through the warehouse, planning where to put workstations, where the recording studio would go, where creators could collaborate without exploitation. What do we call it? Maya asked. Kai considered. Something honest. Wreckage Studios? He laughed. Too on the nose. Visible Studios? Getting warmer. They stood in the center of the empty space, surrounded by possibility and fear in equal measure. Fragment Studios, Maya said suddenly. Because we're all fragments trying to make something whole. Kai's expression softened. Perfect. His phone rang. His lawyer, voice cautious. Kai, I need to tell you something. Sienna took a plea deal. What kind of deal? She's testifying against Tyler. Giving up everything. The conspiracy, the forgery, all of it. In exchange for reduced charges. Kai was quiet. Maya watched emotions flicker across his face, relief, anger, something complicated that looked like grief. Is she okay? He asked finally. She's in rehab again. Court ordered this time. Good. That's good. The call ended. Maya touched his arm. You can feel complicated about it. I wanted to hate her. For months, I wanted her to suffer. And now? Now I just hope she gets better. Not for me. For herself. He looked at Maya. Is that weak? No. That's healing. They spent the rest of the afternoon setting up. Carrying in equipment. Painting walls. Building something from nothing. As the sun set, they sat on the floor of their new studio, backs against the wall, shoulders touching. I've been thinking, Maya said. About creating content again. Under my own name. Kai turned to look at her. Yeah. Scared as hell. But yeah. What kind of content? Stories about people who disappeared and found their way back. Animations about being broken and building anyway. She paused. Truth, but prettier. I love it. You have to say that. You're biased. I'm biased and I love it. Kai kissed her temple. What else have you been thinking about? Maya took a breath. Moving in together. Maybe. His hand found hers. Maybe? Definitely. Probably. If you want. I want. He laced their fingers together. I want mornings with you and arguments about where furniture goes and all the boring, normal, complicated things that come with actually building a life. Even though we're still figuring ourselves out. Especially because we're still figuring ourselves out. We can figure it out together. Maya's phone lit up with a notification. Her first animation under her real name had just gone live. She'd posted it an hour ago, hands shaking, heart racing. The comments were rolling in. Some kind. Some cruel. Most somewhere in between. But one stood out, from a username she didn't recognize. I've been hiding for 2 years. This made me feel less alone. Thank you. Maya showed Kai the comment. That's why we do this, he said softly. Not for the people who hate us. For the ones who see themselves in our wreckage. Is it enough? Making content, running a studio, trying to help people who are where we were? I don't know if it's enough. But it's real. And real is all we've got. They sat in comfortable silence as darkness settled over the city. Through the windows, lights flickered on across the skyline, each one a life being lived, a story being written. Do you ever regret it? Maya asked. Fighting back? Losing everything to tell the truth? Kai was quiet for a long moment. I regret the cost. The people who got hurt. The careers that ended. He squeezed her hand. But I don't regret finding you. Even if finding you meant losing everything else. That's not a fair trade. Love never is. Maya leaned her head on his shoulder. What if we fail? What if Fragment Studios crashes? What if people never stop seeing us as the broken ones who burned everything down? Then we fail together. And we build something else. And we keep going until we find what works. You make it sound simple. It's not simple. But it's survivable. Kai wrapped his arm around her. And surviving together is better than being safe alone. Outside, the city hummed with life. Inside this empty warehouse, two people sat in the ruins of their old lives and the beginning of something new. Maya's phone buzzed one more time. A message from her little sister, "Saw your animation. It made me cry. In a good way. Love you." She showed Kai, who smiled. Your sister's proud of you. I'm proud of me too. Is that weird? No. That's growth. They stayed there as night deepened, two ghosts who'd learned to be solid, two people who'd survived their worst moments and chosen to keep going anyway. Kai. Yeah. Thank you. For seeing me when I was trying to be invisible. He kissed her forehead. Thank you for teaching me that being seen doesn't have to mean being destroyed. We're going to be okay, aren't we? I think so. Not perfect. Not fixed. But okay. Maya smiled, real and true. Okay is enough. More than enough. They sat together in their fragment of space, in their moment of peace, knowing the world outside was still complicated and dangerous and full of people who wanted to tear them down. But they also knew something else now. Something they'd learned in fire and battle and the quiet moments in between. They were stronger than they'd been when they started. Not because the scars had healed. But because they'd learned to carry them together. And in the end, that was the only kind of happy ending that mattered. Not perfect. Not clean. But real. Two broken people. One fragile trust. 1,000 tomorrows to figure it out. Maya looked at Kai in the dim light of their new beginning. Ready to start over? He smiled, and in that smile was everything they'd survived and everything they'd yet to face. Ready. And in that warehouse studio, surrounded by concrete and possibility and the ghosts of who they used to be, Maya Rodriguez and Kai Osman built something new from the ashes of everything they'd lost. Not a fairy tale. Not a perfect story. Just a real one. And sometimes, real was the bravest thing you could be. The end.